to Independence Roleplay's CAD and MDT tutorials. For this video we'll be doing the fire department. Now keep in mind I will only be covering one LEO department for these tutorials as well, because all the LEO departments are the exact same MDT. The fire and LEO are pretty much the same MDTs as well, just with a few key differences. So for the firefighters, you'll go to patrol, you'll hit SAFRD, which is San Andreas Fire Rescue Department. You'll click it, you'll click the server, you'll put in your identifier, which will be FF and some random number. It won't be that big, but for basic reasons, mine is just 101. That's my unified unit number for the entire server. Hit save identifier. If you have any subdivision, you'll click it, and then you'll select the district you are in, which will just do Los Santos for simplicity. You'll hit save patrol configuration, just so you don't have to enter all that over and over again every time you get on patrol. You'll just do SAFD or R, whatever you prefer, and you'll hit begin patrol. And then you'll come to this screen here. So this screen there's a lot to look at to start out with. So we'll just start with these main boxes here. So this box here is your availability. So to go, because currently up here it says we have 0 available units. It's because there's no other fire units currently active. So to go 10-8, it's fairly simple. 1, you'll tell the dispatcher, and either you can change it from here, or they can change it for you in their own dispatch MDT. But for simplicity, because I don't have a dispatcher helping me out, we'll just hit in service, available. So now here it says we have 1 available unit, which is me. It tells us the current time, which is in Zulu time. It is currently 1:11, which is pretty. It goes off your time zone. So whatever time zone you're in, it'll be here. It'll also display the current AOP that we are in. That will change depending on our patrols. So down here you can see the open assignments. The PRI means the priority. There's priorities 1, 2, and 3. 1 being no lights, no siren. 2 being lights. 3 being lights and sirens. So there's the assignment number, which is pretty irrelevant unless you're writing a report, and then you can write the call number in there. There's the assignment type, which will be law, medical, or fire, and if it's been dispatched yet. You can also see current bolos for some reason. It's for medical patients. Okay, so on the right side here you have all your buttons. Most of this is pretty self-explanatory, but it's easier just to go through it all. So you have the panic button. It's going to ask you for all this information. We do have a script in game that if you do /panic, it'll activate it for you and give dispatch your own location for where you currently are, so you don't have to enter it. If you enter it, you hear the panic sound. It'll go dispatch. They'll send LEO out to your location right away, and all that jazz. So the unit chat here, this is pretty cool. I think it's really cool. Here you can talk to the entire fire department, or you can also talk to different people. So if you want to talk to him or talk to him, you can open different DMs. Here is your notepad. This is a notepad that only you can see. It saves every time you close it, even after web browser refreshes. The info desk is just where you'll see any subdivision notes or SOPs that are linked in here. there currently isn't any SOPs or subdivision notes for the fire department. Here we have all of our 10 codes. Most of these are for LEO, but they are good to know for stabbings and fires and all that jazz, because you will be added to LEO calls, and you'll have the LEO 10 codes. So start assignment, you can create your own call from here if dispatch is busy or there is no dispatch. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. You'll type in the call, which could just be, we'll just do patient down, 123 Test Street, and sometimes one of these had a drop down. I think it's, oh, that's only in the dispatch MDT. My bad. Never mind, forget that. So you'll just type in the postal you're at, the street, and what's happening, and you'll hit generate assignment. It'll attach you to it. You'll hear that noise every time you are attached to a call. It'll bring you to the assignment tab where you can see all these buttons, but we'll go over that. We'll go over that later. And then there's the search patient, which we'll look up the civ patient that I made. You'll be able to see medical history, warrants. You can see their medical profile and their personal information. The only reason you could see warrants is to notify LEO if you do have a patient and that they have a warrant for, which will happen. It's not uncommon, but it's definitely good for the fire department to have. You can also change what panel you're looking at with your button keys as well. So this is your info here. It's just your name, your unit number, subdivision, and your district. This here shows who is on. So dispatch is always going to be green because we currently have someone logged into the CAD that hasn't logged out yet. And once there's people in the LEO tab, this will be green. Same with tow and taxi, those will also be green. So we've pretty much gone over this part here. This tab, you can only see if you're a supervisor. No, apologies. You can see this, but only supervisors have these three buttons down here. The emergency traffic only is a signal 100, which pretty much just means shut the hell up and let the scene command do their talking. Stop transmitting is sort of the same thing, but that's only used if dispatch needs people to stop talking. Okay, and here you can also see active calls and active units. So here we'll attach to this call here to see. Yeah, hold on one sec. I clicked too many things at once. Whoopsies. Okay. So I'm gonna clear from that again just so I can show you the sound. That means there's a new call. So here you can see the location, the priority, which I didn't put in because only a dispatcher can do that. You can mark yourself en route, on scene, or arrived at the hospital. You can see the reporting party and the narrative. Over here you can see who's involved, the associated vehicles. These are not other units or officers, these are civilians. You can also see call flags, and if there's anyone registered to the area you're responding to. So let's say you're responding to a house. in Mirror Park, and let's say the postal is 200 Mirror Park Boulevard. If that's registered in a civilian's MDT, that will also show up here, which is pretty good to know. And here's the call log, which dispatch and all the units on scene can also see. So once you're done with the call, you'll hit clear call, or you'll tell dispatcher you're clear off the call and they'll do it for you. Oh yes, and here you can see the assignment number, which is number 10, which takes us into the paperwork section, where you can see the incident reports, which is currently the only thing you have. So there is a case number open already, so you'll just type in so when you're creating an incident report, you have this number here. If you're always going to need a supervisor to look at your report, so you're remembering this number is fairly important, but you can also see it when you look up a civilian's name. So we'll do that really quick. I don't know what to put there. Okay, so I'll just throw those in there so I can show you. Oh, why can't I? Come on, you can do it. Okay, whatever. Anyways, we'll search up the number for the first report here. One, you can actually print out these reports for some reason, and these are, I don't think these buttons actually work at the current moment, but you can print them and download them. So again, go to paperwork, incident report, create a report, fill out all the stuff it tells you. The legend is up here, and to search incident reports, you need to look up the number. Okay. That does it for the fire MDT. As always, if there's, oh yeah, and to go 10.7, 10.42, you just do unavailable at servers, and then it takes you off the board. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to message a staff member or myself if you have any questions about the MDT and the CAD. Other than that, I will see you in the next video for the LEO MDT.